Hey guys, welcome to Immortal Realm. Let's start our list. On number 10 we have Chaos Alchemist. It has more than 100 chapters. Guyun, a young gifted genius, is reduced to doing odd jobs at the King Shan sect because his spiritual energy was weakened from an ancient god seal. Now this god seal is what he became trash for. His father was also implicated and had his role as head of the King Shan sect stripped and was imprisoned by the opposing Fei Lu family. Well, this is common in Chinese manhwas. At this time, Guyun discovers the secret that is hidden within his body and forms a pact with an ancient god. Now the thing that he was loathing so much, the thing that for which his whole life was destroyed, that is the ancient seal, one of his biggest weakness became his strong point. This is the cheating skill that he got, and the ancient god helps him become overpowered. It's a pretty decent manhwa. Well, you know what Chinese manhwas are like. So if you want to pass your time and need something with a lot of chapters, then you can try this manhwa. Number 9 on our list is the Overachievers Black Text System. Now this is a manhwa which I mentioned quite a few videos back. At that time this manhwa only had 20 chapters, but now that we look at it, it has more than 130 chapters. Now let me tell you, it is much better than those typical average Chinese manhwas. In this manhwa, our main character gets a system known as Black Technology System. The main character is your average college student, but after receiving the Black Technology System, he enters the world of knowledge, where he improves his learning efficiency by a factor of 1 billion. He becomes the smartest human in existence. This manhwa has a unique story. The only problem is that although it has 130 chapters, they are very short. In this manhwa you will see a lot of competitions in which our main character takes part and he beats everyone. Now those competitions are regarding mathematics, physics, chemistry, etc. Our main character becomes very smart, even the professors start learning from him. Number 8 on our list is World's Apocalypse Online. When the end of world came, in the hopeless darkness, Gu Xingqian broke away from the time and space and returned to the world before it collapsed, determined to change the fate. But as time went on, he gradually realized that the apocalypse is not as simple as it seemed. You will see that the main character goes into past, but the most interesting thing here is that our main character has a system which allows him to go to a different world, which means he can alter between two worlds, his original world and the other world. The art is god class. If you have read the light novel of this manhwa, then you know what I'm talking about, because this is going to get more interesting as more and more chapters are released. Number 7 on our list is Infinite Level Up in Morim. Tang Yu-sung, a junior warrior with no talent or low-level training, died on the battlefield. But when he opened his eyes and thought what kind of underworld it was, he realized he returned to his past, back when he was a child. The moment of death, the greatest moment of life you find. At that time, he heard a message. Welcome to Morim Online, a world that rises as much as you perform your mission and strive. Would you like to log in? Yes and no. Click. Our main character clicks on the yes button. This is a new manhwa and it is underrated. You won't find an overpowered main character. Although he is reborn, he is a poor young man. Neither was he a great king or some great existence in his past life. And this is the reason that makes this manhwa much more unique and interesting. The art is decent, but the thing that makes this manhwa more unique and interesting is the plot and storyline. Number 6 on our list is I Am the Only One with Genius DNA. One day a certain incident takes place in a scientific laboratory, and a drop of blood from our main character lands on a certain organism. And after that, a status window suddenly appears in front of Ryu Yong-jun, a researcher at a pharmaceutical company. He later realizes that that organism, or you can say that thing, now exists with a symbiotic relationship in his body. It is known as Rosalyn, and it is an artificial cell that knows everything about biology. And that is how our main character can analyze anything like medicines, DNA, etc. You will see how he grows up to be one of the topmost researchers of his country. The art is decent and unique, but the story is interesting. If you are into medical genre, then you can read this manhwa. Number 5 on our list is Great Doctor Lingran. I have mentioned about this manhwa in the previous video in which I told about top 10 manhwas where the main character is a doctor. Lingran, whose goal is to become the world's greatest doctor, suddenly obtained the Golden Finger system, and this is a system which has a high degree of medical expertise. With the help of this system, our main character reaches new heights in the field of medical science. This manhwa also has a light novel, and it has more than 1000 chapters. Each and everything is explained in detail, like how hospitals work, the medicines, the diseases, etc. Our protagonist is smart, overpowered, and a badass. You will see how our young doctor surprises everyone with his knowledge. Actually, it is not with his knowledge but with his skills that he gets from the system. Number 4 on our list is Library of Heaven's Path. Traversing into another world, Zhang Xuan finds himself becoming an honorable teacher. Along with his transition, a mysterious library appears in his mind. Now this library is the biggest cheat skill you can see in a manhwa. As long as it is something he has seen, regardless of whether it is a human or an object, a book on its weaknesses will be automatically compiled in his library. Thus, he becomes formidable. Imagine that you are fighting someone and you realize that this is his martial arts, and the next moment you find the flaws in the martial arts. Then obviously you will become overpowered, and not only overpowered but you will become a master. This manhwa tells about a beautiful relationship between teachers and their students. The biggest thing for a teacher is the trust of students, and you will see how our main character realizes the dreams of their students and help them achieve it. This not only gains the trust of their student, but the student think of him as a god. On number 3 we have Morim Login. It has a total of 70 chapters till now. An era where hunters thrive on hunting monsters that come from gates. Jin Tae-kyung is a low-rank hunter who picks up a VR machine and accidentally logs into a game which is set in the world of martial arts. After many ups and downs, Tae-kyung is able to escape this world, but later he gets a surprise. The strength and skills which he received in the Morim world were able to be carried over back to the real world. This allows him to continue making life as a hunter, and his rank continuously climbs up from being a low-level hunter to a high-level hunter. Then one day he decides to return back to the world of Morim. It's a popular Korean manhwa, and I think that most of you have already read this one. Those who are new to the world of manhwas, you can try this one. Number 2 on our list is Long Live the King. This has only 126 chapter and they dropped this manhwa. An ordinary student accidentally traveled into another universe and becomes the king of a small kingdom. Now the body which he takes, that is of the king, that king is a good for nothing. But he gets a cheating code of life and was able to complete something extraordinary. This is a story about a king who was able to conquer continents and leave behind him an ultimate legend that will be recited between every generation to come. And here we have a system that helps him travel between worlds. Not only that, but our main character grows strong in the apocalyptic world and then protect his kingdom in the other world. So you can say it is a kind of double isekai type manhwa. The first 10 to 15 chapters might be a bit confusing and might be hard to read after seeing the art, but believe me, after 10 to 15 chapters, this manhwa becomes legendary. And on number 1, we have the most underrated masterpiece, Limit Breaker. Due to an unknown error, Kim Ki-bong was trapped in the awakening test for 3000 years. In the real world, 10 years have passed and it is overrun by monsters and dungeons. Now in these 3000 years, our main character continued to grow stronger and stronger. He tried so hard to escape but he couldn't. And after these 3000 years, he escapes. And Kim Ki-bong returns to his old world with the max level stats. The battle between Kim Ki-bong and the monsters begins now. This manhwa has very slow updates. It started way back in November 2020, but if you check out the number of chapters, it only has 28 chapters. The art is very beautiful, although it is unique than most manhwas, but if you see the designs of the monsters, you will feel that this is a god class art. If you have read this manhwa, it's a good thing. If you have not, then you should read this manhwa. That's all for today's video, and I hope you liked it. We'll meet in the next video. Have a very beautiful day.